Alright, so in this tutorial I want to cover the break keyword, but before I head into that there's another 3 loops that I want to show you, and 2 of them are iterations of arrays similar to for loop here, and the other one's just another sort of while loop, but a little more compact sort of. But before we cover that as well, I did get a suggestion from Logan Forrest to use the console, so go over to game and click on show console. And now when you play it, it's going to pop up with this little window here. Alright, and we can use that to our advantage, because now we don't have to deal with pressing enter or clicking OK in the message boxes every time it pops up. So instead, get rid of message box underscore P and just put in P. And now, when you play it, there, on your side, it comes up. Alright, so we can do that, but we don't need the for loop anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it for now. And I'm going to go through the other 2 array iteration loops. And that is, the first one's just list, because that's what our name of the array is, list.each. And then we can go do. Alright, now end. And this is what you have to do. Right after you write in do, you then have to put in the pipe sign. Put in 2 of them, and inside of the pipe sign you have to put in a variable name, and it can be whatever you want, but I just call it element. And it does the exact same as the for loop here. It just goes list.each do, so it's more like for element in list do the following. That's kind of what it means. It's no different from the for loop, it's just written differently. That's all it is. Alright, so if I go p element and then click OK, and play, there you go, it pops up. Okay, now you don't have to do a do that way. I can get rid of the do, and I can put in a scope bracket here. You get rid of the end as well, put an end scope bracket. And the reason why you do that's normally so you can have it on one line, like the following. Okay, so list each scope brackets. That means I don't have to write an end or anything. Play it. Still pops up. Alright, I'm going to change that freaking bloody awful sound to start. Menu theme. Anything's better than that, really. Scene 2. Well, actually, Town 3. I like Town 3 better. Yes. Okay. Anyway, back to our script. List.each, and that's the two iterations of arrays. 2 other ones you should probably know. So list.each, or really it's just array.each, and then that. Alright, we don't need that now. The other way is to go number.times. So number it has to be an integer number, by the way. It can't be a float. And I can have 900.times. Now I can put in scope brackets here, and then go p. I don't know. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, and now we have made our loop here. So it's going to do this 900 times. Right? Now, obviously, we probably don't really want it to go 900 times. This is more compact in that sense, that you have more control over how many times it does it. So we can go 900 times, or we can go 9 times, or even 10, or 1 million. I think that's 1 million. Looks like it is. Alright, but you probably don't want to go that high. Alright, so actually, you know, let's do it 1,000,000 times. Well, let's go 1,000. See how long it takes for it to get into it after we do 1,000 times. Alright, that was pretty quick actually. So instead, how about we make it 1 million, and we'll see how long it lags until the game starts running. Alright, let's see. It's 1,000,000 times, by the way. This is how long it takes your computer to do things 1,000,000 times. There we go. Alright, that was about 10 seconds, right? So your computer can do 1 million things in 10 seconds, and that's pretty good in my books. Okay, and now we can move on to the break keyword. So I really don't want that to go with 1,000 times, 1 million times. So we can do a local here, and we can go local equals let's just start with yeah, 1. We'll go with 1. It's going to do that 1 million times, right? So we can go p local, right, and break if local is greater than let's go 100,000. That's 10,000, 100,000. Okay, and this is what it does in a while. It can only works in while loops, by the way, in loops. That's what break does. So when it hits break, it then goes exit out of the while loop and continue down. So in this sense, we have this going 1 million times, and you know, you don't really want it going 1 million times. You know, just 100,000 is good enough for me at this point in time. So it will go through this while loop 100,000 times, right? And then it's going to go if local is greater than 100,000, then break. And when it hits break, it then says, okay, exit out of this loop. We don't need to go through it anymore. So it's only going to do this 100,000 times rather than 1 million. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wow, I only had that going 100,000 times. Whew. Okay then. 10,000. Okay, anyway, so then in here we go local plus equals 1. Okay, so it's gonna print out local 10,000 times, then it's gonna stop going. So local, there you go. Alright, and just to prove that it works as intended, I am going to change this to 1,000. And it's only going to go up to 1,000 now. There you go, 1,000. So that's what break does, and it works for every loop there is. So I just did this in times now. We can do this in the for loop as well. Alright, so in for element, actually instead I'll do the other ones we just learned before. We can go list.each do element we'll just go p element and break if element equals to text, because that means it's going to go 0, 20, 500, and then it's going to print out text and then not going to print out anything else. Okay, and play. There we go, see? And we can do that for loops and while loops and all those kinds of loops all the time. So all break does in the most natural sense is when you say break inside of a loop, it then gets out of it. So if I don't have an if statement in here, it's really only going to print out 0 here, then it's going to exit this loop. So play it and print out 0, as I said. So that's why we have an if statement after it saying if true. Okay, so that's how loops work, and why you need to use them, and why they're relevant, because it helps reduce your code by a shit ton if you use them correctly. And then you have break here in case you need to exit for some reason. In most of the cases I only use break if something is nil, which, as we learnt before, nil means there's nothing in it, meaning you can't do anything with it in the first place, so just exit. And that's how I use breaks. So as long as you understand that, you should be good to go. And yeah, that's all really.